So, good morning, good evening. I'm not really sure when this is going to get posted because I don't think I'm going to post it from here. I will probably post this tomorrow, so likely this will be a good morning for you, and it'll also be a Wednesday. That was a hair on my screen. I'm using my phone because I'm going to show you something tonight. Um, I talk about faith a lot and I talk about my own personal spirituality and I know I've mentioned many times that I'm a pagan. I'm not a Wiccan. There is a difference. You can be a Wiccan and that will generally make you a pagan, but you don't have to be a Wiccan if you're a pagan. There's lots of different kinds of pagans out there. And for me, that's what that really means is that I try to stay a little bit closer in touch with the elements that are around me, the universe that's around me. I have different names for deity than what other people might. And deity might have multiple faces for me, which is typically what makes a pagan of any flavor a pagan, is that generally pagans are multi or polytheistic, which means that they have multiple deities. But for some of us, while we may use different names for different aspects of deities, really it all comes down to kind of the same universal force, sort of. So it's kind of like naming the different facets on a diamond. The diamond is still a wonderful gem. In and of itself, it is a singular unit. However, it all depends on what direction you look at that diamond from as to what you see. So what I thought I would kind of do tonight is I'm resetting my altar in the space that I'm living in because I have a few more of my altar items and it was getting cluttered, and I just kind of wanted to show you and talk a little bit about what my daily devotionals can look like, does look like, sometimes looks like, and kind of show you like a very small scaled down for me travel altar, so you can kind of see a little bit about what I do. So I'm going to set the phone down over here, and you're going to see kind of a little blank purple space. You're going to ignore the gummy bears. Those are mine. You can't have them. They're mine. But this is the altar space that I'm using. I'll pick you up one more time here. I'm just using like a little TV tray, and I've got like a purple cloth. And then underneath I have items that I store, like my candles and things are down there. So I'll put you back here so you can see again. Okay. So the first thing I always like to know is I kind of like to know where my directions are, because I like to set things up based on the elemental directions. And I know that Earth is up here. This is the north. And so what I do is, it's never eat shredded wheat. North, east, south, west. Well, since this is the east side over here, the side closest to you right now, this is the direction in which I will put air. And air is usually represented by things like incense or feathers. So I have here this little cauldron, and I have sand in it. I just happen to be using black sand right now because it's pretty. But you can use anything you want. And so that's also going to be where I put my little incense sticks when I'm ready to burn my incense sticks. I love these incense sticks. They're Morning Star, and I like them because, first of all, there's no wasted stick. That entire thing can burn. Secondly, I like them because their smoke value there's less smoke than there is fragrance, which is really nice because so many incenses have like a really, really smoky content, and then there's not enough scent. All you can smell is the smoke. There's no actual scent to it. And I like that they come with like their own little mini burners, but since I'm using the cauldron here, I'm not using the mini burners. So incense is a good way to represent air. So are bells. So I always like to have, like, that's one of my favorite bells right there. So I like to use that little bell. And of course, feathers are always good representations. And I have here 2 blue jay feathers because blue jays are very special to me. And blue jays are special to me because of a lot of different reasons. I'm actually not going to go into it here, but blue jays are very special to me. So if this is east and this is air, This is north, so this is earth. So I like to represent earth with particular herbs. So this is a little bowl of cinnamon, and this is a little bowl of salt. And those are both wonderful herbs and spices to represent earth. And here's a piece of Maramamba tiger's eye, and that also is very representative of earth. So we'll put that up there too. Fire, of course, is represented by candles. And I do have, this is a candle that I got from the Christmas Eve service at one of the churches that I play for. This was from the candlelight part of the service. And I want to use that this week because there's some aspects to that I want to bring back into my life. And I'm going to put it in the cauldron, even though that's the air area, because it'll be safer. And then here is a nice little candle, and I'm going to throw a shout out to my friends out at Northwoods Illuminations, Tracy and Dave. Hey, Tracy and Dave. So Northwood Illuminations, I think you can see that lid there. This is a black raspberry and vanilla candle. They make their own soy candles. They're out of the Wisconsin Dells area, and you can look them up if you want to look them up through like my Crystal Soul page. I do have a link to them somewhere in there. Otherwise, shoot me an email and I will make sure that you get their contact information, because I tell you what, I've bought soy candles from them. Their candles are not all slimy and weird like some soy candles are. They're nice and dry, and they burn real clean. Like this is a halfway burnt candle, and it didn't mushroom a whole lot on the wick. You can see that the glass is pretty clean. So I'm going to put that down here for fire. So that's my little business shout out to my fellow small business peeps out there. They're good people. Check them out. Okay, so we have earth, we have air, we have fire. We need water. And I always keep like a little bowl for water. And there's no significance to the color of bowls that I'm using. I'm using the bowls that I grabbed. Just because it's what I had on hand at the time. They're usually in my little kit. So the water is going to sit over here in the west. And that's just what water does. So then the only other element that I don't have represented here is spirit. So I represent spirit in a lot of different ways. I like to use a labyrinth. This is a little handheld labyrinth. And what you do is you take the little handheld labyrinth and you take this little stylus and you start down here and you can follow the path of the labyrinth. And what I like about these little handheld labyrinths is it gives you that quiet movement meditation when you're not able to get to an actual physical labyrinth, like a full-sized walking one. So I like to put that in the center. Now you notice I'm leaving a big space back here. Normally I would fill out the altar, but I'll show you why I'm leaving that space in a minute. One of the other representations that I like to use for spirit is my prayer beads. And these are a meditative set of prayer beads. There's it's like a rosary, but it's a rosary for people who are like pagan. And I have a prayer rope as well that I work with occasionally. So these two are both going to go on here as representations. But I also have these little tokens. And I'll show you all these nifty little guys. I have little tokens that represent different things too. Like this is a little tiger's eye tiger. And I've had him with me for a very long time. He's very special to me. This is an acorn that I picked up at a particular state park. Again, there's a story behind it for me. This is a little silver acorn that was given to me as a gift. This is a dime that was also given to me as a gift from a ritual that I performed. What I did was when I was done with the ritual, I asked nature to give me some kind of a gift that I would be able to keep and remember that ritual by. And I looked down and the very first thing I saw was a dime out in the woods. This is a little token of Mother Mary. I work very closely with Mother Mary. So Mother Mary will go on here as well. This is a token of the Green Man, who I embody. I try to remember Green Man as an entity as well, instead of being purely goddess focused, which is what happens with a lot of women when they go to paganism from, say, Christianity. They become so goddess focused that the masculine aspect gets forgotten a lot. This is Kuan Yin. She's one of my other goddesses that I work a lot with. And then the goddess I work the most with is Isis. So I like to keep representations of each of them here. Okay, so now I have this space back here. So what I'm going to do with this space is I have a series of books that I go through. So for example, I have daily devotional books. This is the Celtic devotional book. This is a book by Caitlin Matthews, who, if any of you people out there read pagan books and you read into any kind of Celtic paganism, Caitlin Matthews should be a very familiar name. This is a twice-a-day devotional book, and it is geared around the seasons. A new book to me is this one here that I'm using. It's called 365 Goddess. And so every single day in here, they give you what kind of a festival day it is. They give you a goddess to read about. They tell you what the themes of the day are, what some of the symbols of the day are, a little bit about the goddess they've mentioned, and things that you can do throughout the day to remain mindful of kind of where you are. This is one of my favorite daily devotionals as far as goddess books go. The 365 Goddess is Patricia Telesco, which should also be a familiar name for you. And this is Patricia Monahan's Goddess Companion. Patricia Monahan was an amazing rock star of a woman. And she wrote some really great books on spirituality, feminine spirituality, goddess books, deities, all kinds of stuff. It's really great. You should check out anything that she's written. Her stuff is amazing. And then the other two books that I'm going to put up here, one is called Love Catcher, and this is a book by Kathy and Amy Eldon. And what this is a guided journal. And it deals with, it's called Love Catcher, Inviting Love into Your Life, a Journal. And it really is, it's just a book that kind of allows you to take a step back and look at the way that you love yourself and the way that you love the people around you, and put it into a different perspective. And then this little book that I'm putting out goes with the Love Catcher. This is a journal that I had bought specifically to go, biscuits, I just spilled water. It's a journal I bought specifically to go with the Love Catcher book, so that I would have a specific journal for that book. So I'd have something special. Let's just move back from the water there. I will put you here so that you're not in the water. There we go. And then the last thing that I want to add to my table is my candle. So how do I start a ritual? How do I start a morning devotional or an evening devotional? Well, normally what I do is I start by recognizing the air, because the air is in the east, and the east is where we typically would start. So I've recognized the air. This is where I would light an incense stick, which I'm not going to do tonight because I'm not going to stay up long enough to burn the whole thing through. I'll come around, I'll light my fire. Okay. So now this can just be tucked away up here. If I need to refill my water, which I don't need to technically now, then I would refill my water at this point. Sometimes I'll take a little taste of my earth, and then I will do my books, like some variation of my books, and then I usually wrap it up by either doing a rotation with the prayer beads or a run through of the labyrinth. And that's how I do my daily devotionals. That's how I do my morning ritual and my evening rituals. During that time, I might have a focus, like when I do my labyrinth, I might have different prayers, or I might have different meditations that I run through as I'm walking the labyrinth. Some days it's prayers of thanksgiving and thankfulness for the things that I have, the gifts that I have. Sometimes it's prayers for other people who are going through rough situations in their life, and it's just it all kind of depends on the day, what's going on in my world. So, but I wanted to share that little bit with you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I don't know when I'm getting this loaded. Likely this will be on Wednesday, the 28th of February. So I'll probably load it when I get to the shop in the morning. Otherwise, I guess that's all I have to say. So you guys have a good night, good morning, whenever it is that you guys get to catch this. And I will see you all later. Bye.